please keep her that way. Anyway, that's a weird rant that I just went on. And then Danker says,
Speaking of Southern, yeehaw.
why do you have a cowboy hat before I read Danker's
I'm
comment?
getting into that.
I think that's amazing. Please wear that for the rest. That should be a redeem. Pete
Yeehaw.
is wearing a cowboy hat. If you want to see that, please come to twitch.tv/rapid reviews. Oh, he is a bandito. Oh my goodness. Oh, Pete, why? Why? That is amazing, but why? You have a bandana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that must be something we're about to talk about because Mike Tendo said, I know where that hat came from. Wink, wink. Danker says people throwing out the whip just because it rubs people the wrong way. Ooh, Danker. I don't want to know why Pete has one of those. Ride 'em cowboy. Brent says it's Texas Pete. Pete, that is an actual legend. Texas Pete. He's
I know it is.
Legend. Then it says,
Just so you know, the bandana is pink. It's currently pink.
oh, okay, because it looks red. And then Mike
I know
Tendo
it does.
says, whatever you do, Pete, don't turn around. So, Pete.
Ah!
So, Pete, do you want to tell us where all of this swag came from? Oh my gosh.
Yes, I do. So, what we were going to cover last week was the fact that I recently went to London to go to the Princess Peach Showtime launch event, or pre-launch event.
Yes.
Where people of the media and some influencers got the chance to go and play an early build of Princess Peach Showtime. So what was available whilst we were there, I can't... Well, the game's out now. I'm still not going to discuss it in the full way that I was going to, because I haven't played it yet.
Wait, but you went there.
No, I meant the full game.
Oh, right.
I own it, but I haven't had the chance to play it this weekend.
Oh.
Came out on Friday.
Poor Mike. He says, well, I've been waiting over a week to hear. Yes, start at the beginning. Talk slowly. Tell us step by step, Pete. How was the experience?
I shall. I will take the hat off because that will come into play a bit later.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I made my journey up to London, which wasn't particularly too eventful, apart from potentially an incident that was going on in the middle of London. Don't know what the hell was going on there. Anyway,
Okay.
so the event was actually held at, I can't remember how to pronounce the name of the venue, but it's a very old venue within Leicester Square, called the Leo or the Lao, or I don't know. But it's basically used to be an old playhouse.
Ooh, nice.
And yeah, Mike's put it in there. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's an old playhouse. It is currently being used as a club, which for the West End of London sort of makes sense.
Ooh, right. Ooh, West
But yeah,
End.
so from the hours of 5 until 10, Nintendo had hired this place out and had a massive load of different machines to play Princess Peach Showtime, both in handheld and docked. So basically it was over 2 floors. Top section was where you had a couple of sofas and a few TV setups. And then down on the bottom floor, they had a load of other stuff, such as the demo booths. They had the Switches themselves in handheld, so that you could just play different sections of it. So they had 2 demos whilst they were there. One demo was the publicly available demo, which had 2 of the transformations on there. And one demo had an additional transformation. So for anyone who doesn't know what Princess Peach Showtime is, this is the new Princess Peach game. I have to take umbrage with the fact that people were turning around and saying, this is the first Princess Peach game. It is not.
No, it is not. That's correct, Pete.
No, because Princess Peach, Super Princess Peach came out on the DS.
Yes.
But people were using this as a way of saying Princess Peach's first game on the Switch. And it's like, no, it is not. Well, it is on the Switch, but it's still not her first game.
Right.
I'll get into some minor controversy potentially about the game later on, because people seem to be getting annoyed by it.
Oh, interesting.
Well, we'll get to that. So down on the bottom floor, like I said, they had a different demo there. So the game itself is based solely around Peach going to a show that's set on a stage, and obviously there are different transformations that are basically being used for different worlds. So
Right.
Peach, I believe, has 8 different transformations. The ones that were available in that was Chef Peach, Ninja Peach,
That's
and Sword
amazing.
Fighting Peach.
Ah, that's amazing.
So each different area has different gameplay
Ah,
modes, basically. So the chef one is a lot of platforming, but then basically ends out with some cake making.
right.
There was a boss at the end of it, but I'm not allowed to discuss the bosses at all, so I will
Right.
not talk about those. So um, essentially, what you could do is you could just you had to go and help the patrons of this particular area to build a load of cakes for a party,
Right.
which, yeah, fine, makes a lot of sense. So the gameplay loop itself was the fact that you were actually baking the cakes. So you had a little mini game to actually bake the cakes itself and then dress the cakes.
Nice.
So it was interesting. I quite like the Peach transformation. Um, Sword Fighter Peach is exactly what it sounds like.
Yes.
It's very combat heavy.
Nice.
So yeah, and then Ninja Peach was very sneaky, as you
Nice.
could imagine. So
Yes.
there was a section there where you had to walk through and try to not get spotted by any of the enemies.
Very cool.
If you did, you had to go back to oh, sorry, Mike's called it Patisserie Peach, and that is correct.
Oh, right. Ooh, I
Um,
love patisserie.
so yeah, sorry, I can't remember the name of the different transformations. It's fine. So, I'll talk about the game briefly itself. Uh, I quite liked what I played.
Right.
Um, I'm gonna be honest. There was a bit of a technical issue when it came to the docked version of the game. It appeared to have a few different issues in terms of frame slowdown,
Oh,
and it didn't appear to be overly optimized particularly well, which was very unfortunate. It could be the setup that they were
I was
using
gonna
because the
say.
monitors themselves not always the best. The demo station itself seemed to be a bit better, but it's possible that on a 4K TV it might suffer with slowdown.
Right. Okay. Because I was gonna ask, did you know what the setup was in particular?
It's I don't know, but I've had this problem with my TV at home when I've plugged in the Switch
Yeah.
to a 4K TV. Doesn't always optimize very well, and you can often have a few frame skips here and there. So
Right.
it's not a perfectly optimized 60 frames, but it
Right.
is probably close because the experience I had whilst playing in handheld, there was a bit of footage that went out on the Mike Tendo 64 TikTok account or the Instagram account. That's actually me playing it in handheld.
Nice.
I kind of sucked, but hey, it was fine. Um, so I felt the game was very well optimized for handheld play. This isn't probably a kind of game that I would necessarily recommend heavily to a hardcore gamer.
Right.
This
Okay.
is the kind of game that you're going to recommend to a beginner player
Would.
because it is very much like the Kirby and the
Okay.
Yoshi games.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Or even if we compare it to recently, Donkey Kong versus Mario.
Mario versus Donkey Kong actually has some more harder levels because it's based on a
Right.
remake from
Yeah.
2004, I believe, or
Yeah.
2003. So there were some harder levels in there, but they did lower the difficulty level to some degree. But this is definitely within the remit of a classic Kirby game or a
Right.
classic Yoshi game, where it is more centered towards beginner audiences or those who are not familiar with games because there is no life system. Um,
Right.
if you do happen to lose all your hearts, you lose coins rather than you do actual lives. So it's
Okay.
very much akin to Mario Odyssey.
Right. Okay.
Um, so I think aesthetically speaking, I quite like the art style. It's quite a nice art style. It's all centered around a stage show, and you definitely get that feel from when you're playing it.
Right.
All
Okay.
spotlights become available everywhere when you progress through levels. you know, one part goes dim and the other part goes brighter when you're focusing on that area. Aesthetically speaking, it looks nice. I
Right.
just go on.
Well, I was gonna say two things. One, Mike Tendo says it's a game for beginners and very casual gamers. So
Correct.
there we go. Also, wasn't it Mario RPG that had the kind of stage setting?
Wrong. It was actually Paper
Paper
Mario: The
Mario.
Thousand Year Door that
See,
had that, and the original Paper Mario.
I always get them switched.
Um,
Haha,
yeah, so
switched.
that had like a play sort of battle system.
Yeah.
So on Paper Mario, the first and second one, you played in front of a stage audience.
Yes.
It
That.
it went more into play with Thousand Year Door, where you could actually interact with certain parts of the audience where they were potentially going to give you items or hazards, and
Yes.
certain parts of the arena
I
could be
remember
taken
that.
down.
Yeah.
So, oh, don't worry, I'll get to talk about that in a couple of months. Thousand Year Door remake's coming out in a couple of months, so.
Oh wow.
Mm. Anyway, so yeah, the game itself, I won't talk too much more about because it was enjoyable. I'll have more thoughts on the full game probably next week. So yeah, but from what I played of it, I pre-ordered it anyway. Um, this helped cement the fact that I was probably going to keep my pre-order
Right.
and just play for it anyway. But I can't see me playing this for massively long periods of time. I'll probably breeze through it, and then it may not stay part of the collection depending on how I get on with it. Because, funnily enough, I've got nieces who might quite enjoy this game, so I might just give it to them to play.
Well, there you go.
So
I do believe next week Mags is playing it as well.
yeah,
So for
so
people
if you
that
want
want
to
to
see
watch
that,
it,
go
yeah.
and see that. Anyway, I want to talk more about the event itself
That
because the
okay,
event
that was my
itself,
next question. I want to know. I want to know what you got up to and did they feed you? Well, I
they
care
didn't
about the
feed
food.
me.
I
There
want
was
to care about
there
the
was
food.
food there.
Right?
However, I didn't partake in any of it. It looked nice, but I just wasn't hungry at the time.
Well, what did they have like peach themed
Uh, they,
food?
I'll I'll get to that in a
Okay,
moment.
okay,
So
okay.
the food itself was
Mike, I
just
can only hope.
the food was just like little canapé bits that just came round. So there was like a bowl of pasta, and just little
I would
things like
have been
that.
eaten up. I would have ate
Uh,
everything.
what I did find interesting though, there was a bar there.
There was what there?
There was a bar,
Oh, wow. Okay.
non-alcoholic,
Oh, that makes more sense.
but all the cocktails were all, you know,
Peach
peach
themed.
related, peach
Right.
themed cocktails or mocktails. Sorry.
Yes.
So, and I had a couple of those. They were very, very nice.
Uh-huh.
So, initially, when I first got there, I just went and had had a little look and see someone else playing the game. Got chatting to someone who was part of a PR firm, which was quite cool.
Excellent. Very good.
Then made my way downstairs, started wandering around into the sections, and happened to run into friend of the show's brother, Mr. Jack Tendo, and spent the
Yay.
rest of the night chatting with him.
Excellent.
So that man is a social animal, and he introduced me to a hell of a lot of people, which
Mm,
was amazing. So this is part of the fun that most fun that I had throughout the whole night was that I got speaking to so many people, including PR people for both
oh,
Nintendo,
that's so good of
just
you.
PR firms in general, um, just randomers because he just talks to people,
That's how
and
you
he's
do,
he's he-
man.
he's built up a good client base so for over the years of covering these events as well. Um, I got chatting to someone that I never thought I'd ever get to meet as well. The reporter for BBC Wales.
Oh,
She
interesting.
she was quite lovely, lovely person. She was very nice. Got a picture with her and
Oh, that's so good.
took one of the videos that may have been featured for one of her articles.
Very good. Excellent.
So that leads me on to what they were doing whilst they were there. So they had various different things to do throughout the night. They gave you a card when you walked through, and you had 5 challenges to go and do.
Right.
So One of them was play the game. Obviously, that was done. You had to have a Polaroid done when you first came in front of the board,
Excellent.
which hang on, I've got them here. I forgot all about them.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Ah!
So next was that you had to go and take your picture with one of the transformation cutouts that they had there. So if you've seen on the social media account, you've seen me pointing a gun at Peach. It was my fingers. It looked like I wanted to shoot her.
Finger guns.
Yes. And then next was they had a green screen there, and you could take a picture in front of the green screen with with various props.
Oh, that's excellent.
Of the different transformations that were there. So I got a picture with Jack Tendo as me as Sherlock Peach.
Oh my gosh. That's brilliant.
So yeah.
That's excellent.
And then it was just so the other things that they had whilst they were there, and this is where this oh, for God's sakes, Mike.
I love that. I can't say
I
it.
know.
But
We can't read it.
I can't read it out loud. But
anyway, the one thing that they did have, which then leads into Yeehaw,
yes.
They had a ring toss game.
Right.
So they had 5 different cacti set up that could catch rings.
Right, okay.
So if you got one on the back row, you won a hat. You got one on the front row,
Ooh,
you won a bandana.
Go Pete.
Well, let's just say that it took about an hour because Jack kept going round and round and round and round trying to win a hat. He never won his hat. I won it for him.
Oh, that's great.
But he won me the bandana.
Oh, there you go. Oh, what a lovely end to an evening.
So yes, you can actually see it's got Princess
brilliant.
Peach Showtime on there. So
good. That's
it was very, very cool. I got speaking to someone who, it was his first rodeo, to be fair. I got speaking to someone who got one of the hats and got a bandana, put it on, and we started making Arthur Morgan jokes.
Yes, as you should.
I was just like, please don't rob me. We were talking about how he was going to go and rob someone in London. I said that wouldn't be too unusual. I just said all you'd need to do is just walk up to someone and say, I'm Arthur Morgan, I have TB, and they'd run away.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was a very, very good night. It was a good laugh, and yeah, I had so much fun. Like for a first official press event for Nintendo, it was the most fun that I've had in a long time.
That is so good. I'm so glad to hear that, Pete. That makes me very happy. But Nintendo always does really good things, presentations and stuff. So,
yeah, I keep hearing this. So, Jack was badgering the PR guy from Nintendo to hopefully put on one for Endless Ocean, and I was trying to badger him into doing a Paper Mario one. So, fingers crossed.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that is too funny. Oh, that's great though. That's amazing.
Yeah, but the venue itself was stunning. It was unreal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd give the event a huge win. It was great. And the game, it was fun. Game itself was fun. I really enjoyed what I played of it there, but I'll get back to you on full thoughts of the game. Obviously, yes. I couldn't go into more details as such, even though the game is fully out. You know, embargoes and all that.
Yeah, no, we're still under embargoes.
Yes.
But yeah, I look forward to your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, I'll come back to you next week on that one because I will get a bit more of a chance to try and play it because I've got a few days off next week because it's Easter.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. See, I'm so out of the loop. I don't know what holiday is what.
I know. The only problem is that means you're going to have to try and tear me away from Final Fantasy, which, yeah, if I'm 25 hours in, I know I'm getting close to a point where it's going to end, so I'm like...
I hate ending games. I hate it.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, yeehaw, let's rodeo into the news.
I think that should be the